Good evening,
Danke,
and welcome to the Hugh Hatrick Show. And it's another Sim Motorsport Association special. That's right. Now we have the MSA Cup. And we were supposed to start last week, but unfortunately there was a big internet crash and everything went down. I promise not my fault. But today we have the drivers, the top three, podium and more from rounds 2, and also we'll talk about round 1 as well. Let me introduce them for you. In third place from Monday night's race, it is Hugh Nutcap. Hello, Nutcap. Give us a wave. Good to see you. In second place from Tuesday night, it is VSR JDJ. Hello. Give us a wave. And there we go. And the winner of Monday night's race, which was at Deep Forest, is VSR Richard. Good to see you.
Woo!
And battling away throughout it all, who almost was on that podium as well, Kennels. It's good to see you, Kennels. How are you doing? Fantastic.
Good. I did the top to bottom challenge on Monday.
Yeah, that's what I usually start last and you finish last, isn't it? You know, it's like normally, and you do a little bit forward and then it all comes back. But no, it was fantastic. So it was a brilliant race on Monday, absolutely brilliant. And for anyone new that's watching tonight, make sure that you join us on a Monday night on the SMA YouTube channel. Hopefully I should have a link in the description, but if not, we'll put one in. It's a great channel to watch, and we have amazing races. We've just finished our second race, and we were using, of course, the Porsche Cayman, the GT4 car. And next week we'll be going on to the Group 3 cars, and it's the Peugeot RCZ. But Kennels, I'll start with you, as you weren't on the podium, and we've got you there right here in front. What was your overall response to the race on Monday?
It was a very, very, very good combo. I had the pace. But yeah, obviously, like I told a lot of the guys that I changed my straight right before the race, and that was my biggest mistake. I think if I did stick with the one stopper, I would have given Richard and JDJ a run for their money there in the front. Yeah, but I wish we could have had the Cayman a little bit longer, because I just started to get to grips with the car, the way it handled. It would have been nice to have an extra 2 races with a Cayman. The GL4 Cayman was actually nice car to drive.
Yes, I think it's probably one of the best cars that GT7 do, isn't it? I think they get the Porsches pretty well up to date, and they sound right, and also they get, they're just nice to drive. So it's fantastic. Oh, we've got Andale de Jager in the comments as well. Good to see you all. I know we've got over 7 and VSR JDG, who's also on our stream. So it's great to see you all watching tonight, and hit that like button if you like the content, because we've got plenty more coming up. Right, so we've got our top 3 podium places as well. Now I'll go to Nutcap, because you're the youngest in the whole series. And now confirm for me, Nutcap, what position did you start from on that race on Monday night?
I started from 9th position.
So 9th position. I knew it was on the grid there, and you finished 3rd, which was brilliant. So what was it like streaming through the field to get onto the podium on Monday night?
Well, I did most of my overtakes through the one stop, so most of them were through the pit lane. But it was really good feeling. The first corner, I managed to gain 2 positions, and from there on, I was stuck with Richard and JDJ, and unfortunately gave them a bit too much slip. But yeah, it was lots of fun. It was clean and ended up a good result.
Yeah, fantastic. And as you go into next week's race in the Peugeot, what do you think is going to be the key kind of qualities you're going to need to get a good result there?
Well, the first one's going to be not crashing, because I think it's a very easy thing to do on this track and this car. And from my testing, definitely tire wear is going to be a big thing. Yeah, but those are the 2 main things I would say.
Fantastic. Yeah. Now I'll go to you, JDJ, because you have been a big star of the SMA Championship. We saw you up there in Tier 1 and driving and racing, and we're often that you'd hear Sean shouting, and JDJ goes through, and a great overtake. And now you're up there in 2nd place. Tell me, what was your story of the race on Tuesday or Monday night for you?
So overall, it was a nice race. As Richard has mentioned, Nutcap, myself, and Richard, we decided to go for the one stopper and of course we saw Puma Nutcap was quite fast, because I'm talking about how rapidly he closed the gap between, I think he just passed Wolfie and myself and Richard. And as he came through, I saw he overtook me. I got a penalty and he came past me. So I just decided to stick with the train, of course, so we can fuel save a little bit extra, because it's always when you've got the benefit of slip, it's much easier to fuel save, as you can gear up. I'm probably in sixth gear before we even hit that small little kink on the start finish straight, which saves you a ton of fuel, because you don't even see the rev line of the car even going through before you go up to 6, and I'm still gaining on Nutcap. I believe was leading up, was the leading car in our trio. So yeah, we just stuck by each other. I told Richard, as soon as Nutcap passed Richard, I said just stick behind him, we can fuel save, because he had awesome pace, Nutcap. So we just decided to stay behind him, because he wasn't losing time to the guys in front after the tire wear started affecting them. We were keeping the same pace, and I knew by checking the delta that if the gap only increases by 0.2 at that stage, that we would be fine with the one stopper, because I knew at the end of the second stop we'd be at least 7 or 8 seconds ahead of Levitius as he exits the pit, which gives us a safe gap, and we were on the soft while they were on the hards. So I think the one stop just fell perfectly in our hands, and it was actually quite fun. First time racing with Nutcap, wheel to wheel, extremely clean. It was actually a fun, good dice.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be more happy with the P2.
It's a great circuit.
Overall a good dice.
It's a nice circuit to drive, isn't it? It's got the starts, with the long straights. You've got the hairpins, and then you've got that lovely and challenging kind of S bend and more tighter bits through the tunnels. And even like the third tunnel that you go through as you kind of turn left going up the hill. That's a real challenge, and very easy to get penalties there, isn't it? If you go over the curbs too much, a lot of people got half-second penalties, but a really nice circuit to drive, and it was really good to watch. And you kind of thought, God, I'd quite like to have been in there to see how it would have gotten on amongst you all, because it's a great track and a car combination. Now I'll go to you, VSR Richard. You've got your vaping thing there. I was going to say it's like a modern day James Hunt, with your cigar almost and that smoking away. You smoked the field with your one stop Saturday, and you ended up first place. So yes, what was the qualities that you think that you had there to make that to get it all working?
To be honest, I think keeping the penalties away helped me a lot. Like JD was very fast there, but unfortunately got a couple of penalties. So I think that was the key, because I wouldn't have battled JD if I did not pass him whilst he's serving a penalty, because it's going to be difficult, and I know we're just going to cost us both time, and we're going to lose both time to the runners that's also chasing. So yeah, I think the key was definitely keeping the penalties away, because it's quite costly on that track after the straight, and then also fuel saving and managing the tires so that you can have a bit of life left at the end on your softs, so that if you had to battle the last lap or two, so that you were able to do that. So yeah, hence the reason I put it slightly later than Nutcap and JD. I knew JD is going to come out after his second stop a couple of seconds ahead of me. But I also knew that the soft hook is going to fall off towards the second to last lap. So yeah, I took the gamble, and I think I went 2 laps more on the hards. I think I went 22 laps on the hards, where I think JD and Nutcap did 20 or something. So yeah, and actually that last lap or two, I managed to pull a slight gap whilst they were battling for second position as well. So yeah, I couldn't be happier. Everything played in my favor.
Yeah, no, it was a fantastic victory. Were you inspired the day before by George Russell's victory in Canada, to kind of give you that extra edge, to get you over the line?
I'm not actually a Mercedes fan. But yeah, so I enjoy. I'm a big Red Bull fan. I love Red Bull, the team, and yeah, my second team is the McLaren boys.
Oh yeah. It was a good race. We're getting some good racing this year, aren't we? It's quite close, and you can never rule Verstappen out. I'm sure we'll come to Formula One a bit more later on, because I would like to get your views on the racing so far this season. But because it has always been pretty decent, and it's always good to see close battles. But going into next week, we have Road Atlanta, and we're in the Peugeot RCZ, which is a mid-engine car. And quite an interesting handling balance on that, especially with the hills and the crests and the blind entries and all these chicanes as well. I'll go to you, Kennels. What do you think of next week's race? Are you looking forward to it?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's a big challenge. Like we mentioned earlier, the car is very bouncy over the curbs. It's easy to lose it. And it's also similar to what we had with the Cayman, because it's a MR car. The front tires gets warm quickly, and then you start losing grip. Then you get understeer, and understeer costs you a lot of time on this track, especially sector 1 and turn 1. Actually, turn 1 is going to be difficult because there's only one way to take it fast and one line to take it fast. If you take the inside, you just slowing yourself down, and the guy whoever is next to you as well. So it's going to be very difficult to time your overtake if you get a good run on a guy going into turn 1. So it's going to be challenging, and I actually look forward to this race.
I was going to say, where do you think the best overtaking points are at Road Atlanta?
Back straight.
But yeah.
So the back straight before the chicane. And also sometimes what I've noticed with the practice race that we had, last night, me and Puma Neil was like in the front, and he spun out behind me and he got damaged. And then I was just finishing with the first lap, and then my pedal made some weird stuff where the throttle just stopped at 10% and didn't want to go. So I had to physically plug it out at the back and plug it back in, and then it was on again. So then me and Puma Neil was battling again, but he had damage, so he was a little bit slower. And going into the first chicane in the first sector, when you go up the hill, sometimes guys take the curb and then it pushes them wide, and then you do almost like a cutback, and then you've got the inside line for the downhill section, and that's also a nice overtaking spot, but only when someone in front of you makes a mistake.
No, it's a challenging one. I'll go to you, Nutcap. What are your views on Road Atlanta, and what do you think will be the way to get the best possible performance?
So the track itself is very hardcore. It's not very forgiving at all. So if you make a mistake or you're bumped off or whatever, that's basically race over. Almost guaranteed damage plus spinning time loss. So that's going to be a big priority to not take damage or get pushed off. Very unforgiving track, unfortunately. The whole race as a whole is just going to be, I think, very interesting. Like, we're going to see different drivers at the top. I think Levitius is going to be back up to the top, and Chaz is going to be up there, and it's going to be a very fun race, but lots of different overtaking zones, and I think there's going to be some really unique moves.
I'll watch out for that. A unique move. That's a great one for a commentary, actually. If it's a controversial move, we'll say, well, that was a unique move. And I know it was one of those things, but no, fantastic. And to you, I'll come to you, Richard. For next week, I think I just asked you that before, didn't I? For next week, but strategy. What will be the strategy, do you think, for next week?
Well, looking at it, we did a half a race practice last night. The VSR team. And we got a strategy up our sleeve, but I think there's one or two other scenarios that we must test. And I agree, it's the first two sectors is most probably going to be a single file race. Like Kennels mentioned, the biggest opportunity for overtakes is going to be on the back straight. But the scary part of that back straight is the S. just before the straight or to the start again. So I think we're going to see some issues there. So yeah, we'll just try to keep it clean. But it's going to be, in my view, it's going to be a big single file race up and down the mountain, and then some action down the main straight.
Yeah. And I have to say, I think having everyone in the same car has meant it has really equaled everything out. And that's really good, isn't it? We've seen lots of different drivers coming up the field. Now, after the Peugeot, are you aware of what the next car is going to be? Or has it not been announced?
No, I don't have an idea. I enjoy the Peugeot. I really enjoy the car. The road at Atlanta is a bit bumpy. So yeah, it is dangerous. I think you can it's very easy to make a silly mistake and ruin your own race without even battling anybody. You need to be on your toes. You need to concentrate because the curbs are hectic. It can throw you offline very quickly, and then you're out of it. The next car, I'm not sure, JD. I don't know what is the next race or the next car.
No, we had the GT, the Nissan GTR. I think that we got the Nissan GTR on Dragon Trail Seaside and Autopolis.
Yeah.
Okay, the GTR on Dragon. Yeah, Dragon is it's a nice combo, very nice combo. Yeah. So no, definitely that's gonna be a lekker race. I know JD is very fast there. He battled me a couple of seasons back when he was driving for a different team. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to that race as well.
Yeah, and we get the Desha game.
Yeah, that's Dragon Trail Seaside is the proper one, isn't it? Yeah, that's the one, because we had Dragon Trail Gardens a few weeks ago, and I quite like that circuit. It's quite good for Group 4. Quite a nice combination.
It's a nice track.
Now it's the next race. DC Gaming is next race isn't the Nissan after the Peugeot. It's a mystery car, then the Nissan.
Okay.
He's also got his strategy spies out to see if anyone gives up any strategy clues as to what's going to happen on Tuesday. But perhaps that mystery car. I was thinking, what could it be? I'd laugh if it was something like the Auto Bianchi that we have in Race A this week. That would be quite fun. I think that would be carnage.
As long as it's not the Valkyrie or what is that other car that luckily I missed that last race.
I suppose
I sold that car. The credits.
I know, that's the thing, isn't it? Or I have to admit, I like the Ferraris that they've got. Now they recently brought in, was it the 599? What was the one they recently, or the 612, I think it was, they brought in, which is lovely.
The 812 Superfast.
Was the 812 Superfast? Was that the one that they brought in? Because that sounds amazing. And also, I love the Enzo, the original Ferrari Enzo. I thought that would be a great car because I don't know. They do have the FXX as well, don't they? They've got the Enzo FXX as a car, but you can't. It doesn't always come up for sale. I don't think. Is it maybe in the specialist cars, isn't it? In that, it's a pity they wouldn't make those ones available. It'd be really quite nice to be able to buy them, because that would be an amazing car to have, the Enzo FXX. That
I think you get it through the invitation. That invitation thing you get in the 3 spins. Yeah, I think you get it there. I think I got one. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like real life. In real life, you gotta be invited from through Ferrari to buy the car. You can't just walk in and say, "Yes, 10 million. I want the car."
Yeah, can you trade in my Dacia from a new Enzo FXX? You know, one careful owner, but 2 others not so careful. But yeah, no, it's the thing. But no, that'd be fantastic. DC Game is saying he would like Group B cars. Yeah, there's scope for probably Group B in rallying. That would be interesting because there's quite a few rally circuits, but they are kind of carnage, aren't they? So trying to keep out of the walls, trying to avoid the penalties, that would be crucial for anything like that. But no, that would be a lot of fun. So we'll have to see what comes in the next few weeks. I'll be keeping my eye out on the cars and the combinations. But let's go to motorsport in general, as we've done a good bit of the racing so far. We had the Canadian Grand Prix on Sunday. So who all watched it from here? Did you all have a chance to watch the race?
A piece of it.
I saw a couple of.
Yeah. How are you taking the F1 season so far this year? I think it's been quite competitive. I'll come to you, Kennels.
Very, 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 very competitive. I'm just a bit annoyed with the fact that Red Bull's second driver can't. They're going through drivers like I go through meals every night. It's. I want them to get someone, or maybe just change the car, because Max is a brilliant driver, and if they change the car, he will be able to adapt better than anybody else. So rather change the car so that both drivers can have the opportunity to get like a constructor trophy or something at least. But now they keep on putting another driver in the car that can't handle the pointiness of the car, and then crashes the car, and they spend too much money on the car and they can't upgrade and whatnot. That's if they could fix that, we will have a better battle in the front, to say, because Mercedes is up there. Now and then Ferrari gets there, but McLaren is running away with us.
Yes, it's interesting, and Piastri doing well, and Lando Norris that we knew the incident was going to come. We just knew. We just sensed it in it when it was coming.
It will happen if you have two number one drivers.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
They can keep battling, and then Red Bull can benefit from that.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how that all panned out. I kind of felt a bit for the Ferraris, because Leclerc is doing well, and to be fair, Hamilton out qualified him, but it just seems to be in the races that he doesn't seem to. The pace seems to go. The Ferrari, I think though, Leclerc has had Ferrari to his own side a bit more for the last few years. So I wonder if Hamilton will be able to kind of get more engineers on his side and kind of get it to where, get the car to where he wants it, and see how that all works out. Because I still think that Hamilton's got a lot to give, and is still very, very fast. But and he has, the car's about half a second off the pace of the others. But I wonder if when at the start of the season, when it really wasn't going well, I don't know about you, but I kind of thought it's Lewis maybe losing some of his speed. I'll put that question out to you. I'll go to you, Richard. Do you think Lewis is losing some of his speed?
I think he's getting a little bit older. The reactions might drop him a bit. It's like me versus JD and Nutcap. So we know what to do and how to do it, but the reaction is a little bit slow.
It's interesting, isn't it? But he has gotten more competitive in the last few weeks, with a few races, and similarly had damage, but nobody saw. That's the problem with the footage that we get. Nobody saw how he got the damage on his car, and they kind of missed that. So, which is they do tend to follow, cars that are nowhere in the race, and then they miss at the front of the grid, and it looks kind of crucial. But how about you, JDG? Did you what do you think of the current status of F1 and the race there so far?
It's much better than what it was, because it was quite a snooze fest where I actually stopped watching it, because it was always a one-man show with Max Verstappen and before him Lewis Hamilton just running away with the championships. But this season is giving me a bit of the 2021 vibe where anyone can compete. Oh, okay, 2021 it was technically Max and Lewis. But seeing all the different winners this year with the F1 and everyone being competitive, with Mercedes winning races and Red Bull, McLaren, and the Ferraris, Lewis has won a sprint race, so I wouldn't say that out of it completely as well. But it's nice watching and not knowing what's going to happen, because if it's predictable, it gets boring and not as interesting as to watch. That's why I rather would watch MotoGP than F1.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? I hope the Ferraris can make a big step forward, because I think it would be great to see Lewis and Leclerc right there in amongst it, and having a car where they can really compete. We want to see some good overtakes at the front, not just the McLarens in there, but it's nice to see the competition and see how it all works. Now, DC Gaming has said Lewis is in his VSR Richard era, trying to bring the fight to the youngsters.
While we're on that subject, FIA approved the grade 1 upgrades at Kyalami now. for F1 to come to South Africa. So that's something that us as South Africans are looking forward to the most. And I must say, also in the last 4 years, I must say that the support towards F1 has grown massively. If you walk down a shopping center or into a store, you see people walking around with, like myself, with a Red Bull cap or a Ferrari jacket, or you pick up. There's more people showing off that they support F1, and that's nice to see. That's definitely nice to see.
Yeah, it's a great sport, and it's great to see it getting around. I'm trying to think, when was the last? I know they had a race in South Africa in 1992 because Mansell won it, but I think they had it in '93 as well. I think, didn't they? I can't.
I got something actually from that time.
I can't remember if it was Prost or another. I think it was Prost that possibly won it. Was it maybe in 1993? Because he was in the Williams. He replaced good old Nigel, who I'd followed. I even had Nigel Mansell racing gloves.
Grand Prix '93.
There you go. Yeah, South Africa. Yeah, that was it. But there was nothing like that car though in 1992 with the active suspension and all the traction control and everything. It was an incredible car for its time. But and the Kalami track will be good. I mean, it's wide enough, lots of runoff, lots of good corners. So I think it's going to be that would be a great circuit. What do you think of? We now have the Americans running Formula One. Do you think that they're doing a good job in appealing to drivers? I'll come to you, Nutcap. Do you think, are you enjoying F1 because they're trying to make it appealing to a more younger audience?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed F1 since I was a little kid. I've been brought up with my dad watching it all the time. I think the season's getting nice and close. And overall, the sport's just growing as a whole. I think, though, they're trying to make it too much into like a almost movie than real sport. So I think that's not put on too much of a show. But overall, it's good for the sport and good for motorsport as a whole.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? And I think that's where sim racing comes in, because now everyone can compete, can have a go, isn't it? They can start on the F1 game or even GT7 and get through, and it kind of, it's almost like that's the entry into motorsport now, and it's given us all enthusiasts a chance to really get more involved in the sport that we love. But yeah, no, it is good. I'm just disappointed that they got rid of all the what was it, the grid girls, and we could do with a bit more of that, a bit more kind of fun like that. And they used to be allowed to almost smoke on the grid or that kind of thing when it was in the old days, when it was a bit more relaxed. When you had that, when it was Bernie Ecclestone running it, he once came up with the idea to make it more competitive. We'll just spray the track with some water at certain corners. Just to make it more interesting, and see what would happen. But no, it's quite something. But it's interesting as well. I mean, we've got Alonso, who has been around Formula One for years, over 23 years, just about. What do you think of Alonso and his abilities? Now he's still pushing, and give him a chance, and he's right up there. I'll go to you, Richard.
I just wanted to unmute myself. No, to be honest, I think his time is over. He's doing good, but he's never gonna be on top like the youngsters, Piastri and Norris and those guys coming through. So he might be lucky 1 or 2 or 3 times when strat plays in his favor, or safety cars or whatever, maybe walk away with a podium. But yeah, honest, I think he's had his time.
Yeah, although they've got, mind you, Adrian Newey with that car, with that Aston Martin. You kind of wonder, will it make a big jump forward next year? And he could be the dark horse of the championship if that car is good. Because I don't know about Stroll.
I think with him still in F1 is kind of a good thing, because he teaches a lot of the youngsters the level of respect and the level of profession in F1, and that's for me, it's a good thing. But like Richard said, he's basically done and dusted. I think he needs to step away next year. And let someone younger and more hungry getting that car, especially now that Adrian Newey is there. And yeah, it's when's Audi coming in or Porsche?
Oh, it could be. Yeah, I think it's next year.
2026.
I think
Yeah, I
or
think it's
next year.
next year.
yeah, it's Audi, and then Cadillac are coming. Did VSR just try the link again, JDG, and hopefully it'll bring you back in. But yeah, no, that's the thing, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's amazing what he's done, and he is very funny. I like the way he would sit in a chair at Brazil, wouldn't it? And he kind of sat there with his arms folded, enjoying the sunshine when his car broke down. He does know he's a good character. Is Fernando, and also he's caused real controversy. I remember when he raced against Lewis in 2007, and they were always at each other's throats, weren't they, for different things, and why he kept Lewis behind him in the pits and all sorts of things. Now, there was a great one there. Sir Mag said, bring back the AIDA circuit, because that was used in 1994 in Japan, wasn't it? That was the one where it was, I think it was Larini that took out Ayrton Senna at the first corner. And that's why he never had any points right the way through. Oh, here comes JDG back in here. So yeah, no, lots of history with the AIDA circuit for sure. In fact, we'll need to get Sir Mags in on the commentary too, and get him on our F1 podcast. And Sir Mags is saying, bring back Justin Bieber, bring back the Biebs, he says. There's an uncanny likeness there. An uncanny likeness. But so there we are. But so we've done Formula One, where we've done our first 2 rounds of MSA, and we've got our great point scorers here, and it's great to see the competition hotting up. Tell me, what do you think is going to happen to Levitius, who was the star of SMA, the champion of that? Give me your views. Do you think he's going to be back up there in the next wee while? I'll go to you, Kennels, first.
I definitely think so, because GR3 and upwards, GR3, GR2, GR1, that's his main meal.
Yeah.
He loves that fast cars, because he originally came from F1 to GT7. So he did F1 first before he started doing GT7 long time ago. So he was already like with the fast responses with the car, going into corners, late braking, and with the quick reactions. That's what he's used to, basically.
Yeah.
Because I've tried many times to try and beat his lap times when it's either GR1 or SF or something on GT7, and I can't.
Yeah. So what is your? I'll go to you, Richard. What would be your strategy to try and beat Chaz and Levitius?
Yeah, like Kenel said, I think they'll definitely bring it on. We know they are very fast. We know that. I think, maybe not to battle, but to rather use the slip and maybe jump them in the pit or something like that. Not to be risky, not to take chances, because you can go off track very quickly. So no, I think because we know they are very fast, so we will not necessarily challenge them on each and every corner. Rather use that to our advantage and let them drag you along away from the other cars or the mid pack, and towards the end, then battle towards the end for a position. So that is basically what I will do.
Yeah, and to you, Nutcap, what is your plan for next week's race and tackling Chaz and Levitius to see if you can finish ahead of them?
Yeah, so I think if you're with them in a race, you must just play it smart, because they're both ridiculously fast, all of them. Just play it smart, let them drag you along, and if you can, slip, fuel save. I don't think it's worth it battling every single lap and just losing time. And just don't be too risky. Don't go for any crazy moves. Yeah, just be simple.
Yeah. And I was going to say, just before we close the show tonight, we know that Robin does a huge amount of work in the administrative team, and all the people behind the scenes that help to run it all. Would you like to say a few words just to sum up your championship so far to them, and to thank them for what's been happening so far after the first 2 rounds? Kennels, I'll come to you first.
Sorry, I missed the first part of what you said in the question.
Just to say, I know that for all the people who are doing the administrative tasks of running the MSA, do you have any words for them after the first couple of rounds as to how it's all going?
Yeah, well, they're doing a very, very, very good job. It's one of the first and only leagues that I've been part of that's been run, I would say, successfully. And they must stop putting themselves under so much pressure, because they take on a good amount of duties and things they want to do to improve the sport that we all love. And it can be very tiring. You can burn yourself out. So I would say, if need help, then ask. We've got a whole community. We've got 80 something people that is always willing to help. Some might not want to help, but there's always going to be that one or two guys that can help with some small stuff, reposting something on Facebook or reposting something over other platforms. But scream, we'll hear you.
And DC Gaming has just said, "Where is Robin? He should have been there for some more naps." But I'm sure he wasn't sleeping when he was on the live show. He was definitely with us, I'm sure. That well, to all of you tonight, I very much appreciate you coming on the show to give us a quick roundup of the season so far, and many congratulations for your finishes so far and for your performances. It's kept us going, and of course there'll be many more races to come with Road Atlanta on Wednesday night, and then more after that in the following weeks. But thank you very much for putting your time aside tonight. I know we lost JDG halfway through. I think he did a connection issue, but we've got Richard, the winner of round 2. We've got Natcap, who was 3rd, and we've got Kennels, who was right there with them and almost got them. He'll be there. He'll be back. You'll be back on Monday. You'll be the underdog there, Kennels, ready to take victory.
I got my secret.
Yeah.
I'm using this on my rig, so I sit on this and I'm faster automatically. And I've got Franz Raymond on my car, so it's helping me. It's helped me on Monday, so I'm definitely making use of this.
Fantastic. And thanks to everyone who's been watching. If it's the first time that you're here, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. It would be great to have you alongside us more often for the content that we produce. And of course, we'll be live again on Monday for the MSA Cup. It's it's roughly 7:45 UK time, 8:45 South Africa time. But thanks very much for watching. And as our motto goes, drive fast, don't crash. We'll be back soon. Goodbye just now.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.